What's up, everybody? It's Juan Salgado checking in. So that was a video of me trying to squat 315 pounds and failing. Ever since that day, I told myself not only would I reach that 3-plate squat, but I would one day squat 400 pounds. And that was actually the very first squat I ever failed, so I made it my goal in 2017 to reach it. I think, with New Year's coming along, a lot of people are going to try to hit some crazy milestones. So I'm going to tell you guys how I reached a 400-pound squat, how I plan to reach a 500 squat, and maybe this will help you guys so you guys can hit some pretty big numbers in the squat. So let me start off by telling you guys what I used to do. First of all, I used to hate squats. I never did squats at all. I used to leg press and do Smith machine squats. So make sure you're doing barbell squats if you really want your legs to grow. Secondly, I did what most people did, which was a typical leg day that was done on Saturday. About 3 sets of squats, 3 sets of leg press, some leg extensions, and leg curls, right? And you're probably wondering, that's probably what I do, and my legs aren't growing either, right? But I'm doing them a lot, and there's a couple reasons why my legs didn't grow like that. One is I didn't have the proper squat form. I thought I had the proper squat form, but I realized I didn't know how to properly brace. My knees were caving in and I wasn't pushing it. So tip number 1 is to make sure you learn how to really properly squat. Lane Norton has a really good how to squat video. I recommend checking that out. Secondly, I stopped doing the leg day with a lot of volume, a lot of exercises, all in one day, and I divided that workout up into 2 days. So day 1 I did like squats, then some leg extensions. Day 2 was squats again with some like leg curls and calf raises, and that worked very well. So I was like, wow. Increasing the frequency, second tip, really helped. So I was like, okay, let's maybe see if I can do 3 times a week. So what I did was I cut out all leg accessories like leg extensions, leg curls, all that, and all I did was squat 3 times a week. Nothing else for my legs, just squats. And I saw some really good squat strength off of that. And then, which is the third tip, is get on a linear progression scheme and try to max out as much linear gains as you possibly can. So a linear scheme goes like, this is what I actually did. So I did 3 sets of 5 on squats. Once I could do 3 sets of 5, I would move it up by 5 pounds. And this worked tremendously, all the way pretty much up to like a 340-pound squat. And that just like is something that I recommend for like most people. It might work for you, it might not, but for sure when you're a beginner, you want to max out linear gains. After you max out linear gains, you want to get on what's called more of a undulating type of program. And that's pretty much what I ended up doing. I got on a program called PH3, which utilized daily undulating periodization, which is pretty much varying the rep schemes. Okay? So next thing that I did was I finally started adding accessories to my movements. And barbell hip thrusts were one of the accessories that helped me a lot more. So more of like adding compound type of accessories. I still did leg extensions and leg curls, but the barbell hip thrust really took me to the next level. After that, I learned how to properly overreach. Some people call it overtraining. Overreaching and overtraining are slightly different. Overreaching, my friend Feynman Dang has a really good video on it, is basically where you pretty much train very, very hard, usually a little harder than what you normally train. Then you deload, and you pretty much create this like overcompensation like effect where you're properly peaked for your like top performance. And I learned how to do that, which is crazy because a lot of people, they're afraid of like overtraining and doing it wrong. And once you start getting into like more of an intermediate, close to advanced, like that's something that you're gonna have to utilize if you really want to just take it to the next step. And yeah, that worked very well. After I reached a 365-pound squat in this meet right here for the USPA, I continued to do that, and my legs just started growing like crazy. I put a lot of volume on it. So I did, you know, squats 3 times a week. One day was heavy, or one day was light, one day was about medium intensity, and one day was pretty heavy. And I just started falling in love with squatting more. So that's my last tip for you guys, is to love the squat. If you don't love it or learn how to love it, you're not going to see a lot of progress off of it. That's what it mainly comes down to, is just enjoying it. I guarantee you that if you guys are doing it properly, you know, going like all the way down and not doing super heavy, I mean, not doing super like high reps, like sets of 20, which is what most people do, you'll end up loving it. Go moderately heavy, relatively and moderately heavy on them, and do it frequently, and you're gonna see the numbers go up. And I don't know, I just don't know how you don't love the squat. Seeing all that weight on the bar, feeling it like just almost about to crush you, it's a really good feeling. And all that plus, just like I said, consistency, hard work, and you'll get there. I promise you guys, okay? So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to show you guys the last clip, which is me finally reaching that 400-pound deadlift. Today is December 31st, so it's about to be the new year in a couple hours. I really hope we all get to our goals this year. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Good, bro.
All right. Our platform ready for one. Nice job.